Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Success is going from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. When one door of happiness closes, another opens. But often, we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one that has been opened for us. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift of God, which is why we call it the present. One man with courage makes a majority. If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them. Don't go on discussing what a good person should be. Just be one. If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. I start early and I stay late, day after day, year after year. It took me 17 years and 114 days to become an overnight success. Nothing is more scandalous than a man that is proud of his humility. Everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. How ridiculous and how strange to be surprised at anything which happens in life. Time is too slow for those who wait, too swift for those who fear, too long for those who grieve, too short for those who rejoice, but for those who love, time is eternity. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. The sexual embrace can only be compared with music and with prayer. Every man is worth just so much as the things about which he busses himself. Great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, small minds discuss people. If unwilling to rise in the morning, say to thyself, I awake to do the work of a man. The whole universe is change, and life itself is but what you deem it. All is ephemeral, both what's rememberer and what is remembered. Stop talking about what the good man is like and just be one. I would rather die a meaningful death than to live a meaningless life. It has been said that a person may have 10 years of experience, or 1 year of experience repeated 10 times. Can you imagine what I would do if I could do all I can? Disgraceful for the soul to give up when the body is still going strong. No more roundabout discussions of what makes a good man be one. How many together with whom I came into the world are already gone out of it? Swiftly, the remembrance of all things is buried in the gulf of eternity. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Give your heart to the trade you have learnt and draw refreshment from it. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it? The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Sometimes I want to ask God why He allows poverty, famine, and injustice when He could do something about it, but I'm afraid He might just ask me the same question. A ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what ships are for. May the best day of your past be the worst day of your future. We choose to go to the moon and do these other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. People do not decide to become extraordinary. They decide to accomplish extraordinary things. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. What would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail? We think sometimes that poverty is only being hungry, naked, and homeless. The poverty of being unwanted, unloved, and uncared for is the greatest poverty. It is never too late to be what you might have been. I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Not until we are lost do we begin to find ourselves. The only way that we can live is if we grow. The only way we can grow is if we change. The only way we can change is if we learn. The only way we can learn is if we are exposed. And the only way that we are exposed is if we throw ourselves into the open. Nothing happens to any man that he is not formed by nature to bear. Remember that happiness is a way of travel, not a destination. Challenges are what make life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. The blazing fire makes flames and brightness out of everything thrown into it. Before you diagnose yourself with depression or low self-esteem, first make sure that you are not, in fact, just surrounded by assholes. When you realize how perfect everything is, you will tilt your head back and laugh at the sky. Everything is only for a day, if that's which remembers, and that's which is remembered. The memory of everything is very soon overwhelmed in time. Before you diagnose yourself with depression or low self-esteem, first make sure that you are not, in fact, just surrounded by assholes. When you realize how perfect everything is, you will tilt your head back and laugh at the sky. Everything is only for a day, if that's which remembers, and that's which is remembered. What we cannot bear moves us from life. What remains can be borne. The greatest mistake you can ever make in life is to be continually fearing that you will make one. A tiger doesn't lose sleep over the opinion of sheep. Kindness is a language that the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Their impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Whatever anyone does or says, I must be emerald and keep my color. Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Know the rules well, so you can break them effectively. The most important things are the hardest to say because words diminish them. People often become what they believe themselves to be. If I believe I cannot do something, it makes me incapable of doing it. But when I believe I can, then I acquire the ability to do it, even if I didn't have it in the beginning. Don't confuse comfort with happiness. Turn your face to the sun, and the shadows fall behind you. Hippocrates, having cured many sicknesses, fell sick himself and died. I don't know what frightens me more, the power that crushes us or our endless ability to endure it. Practice really hearing what people say. Do your best to get inside their minds. A little flash, a little breath, and the reason to rule all that is myself. Normality is a paved road. It's comfortable to walk, but no flowers grow. Turn your wounds into wisdom. I have never in my life learned anything from any man who agreed with me. One day your life will flash before your eyes. Make sure it's worth watching. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. Bear in mind that the measure of a man is the worth of the things he cares about. In an expression of true gratitude, sadness is conspicuous only by its absence. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but no simpler. Never underestimate the power of dreams and the influence of the human spirit. We are all the same in this notion. The potential for greatness lives within each of us. Life is a warfare and a stranger's sojourn, and after fame is oblivion. Everything that exists is in a manner the seed of that which will be. He who fears he will suffer already suffers because he fears. If you want to shine like the sun, first burn like the sun. Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. Some people think that if their opponent plays a beautiful game, it's okay to lose. I don't. You have to be merciless. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. Courage isn't having the strength to go on. It is going on when you don't have strength. The pride, which is proud of want of pride, is the most intolerable of all. Wonder how long thou hast already put off these things, and how. Every moment is a fresh beginning. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose. It is a shame when the soul is first to give way in this life, and the body does not give way. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. Certain things catch your eye, but pursue only those that capture the heart. I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. Pay attention to your enemies, for they are the first to discover your mistakes. There's nothing more insufferable than people who boast about their own humility. Dream big dreams. Only big dreams have the power to move men's souls. If you don't turn your life into a story, you just become a part of someone else's story. The idea is to die young as late as possible. Somewhere in the world, someone is training when you are not. When you race him, he will win. Talent is luck. The important thing in life is courage. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. If you always put limit on everything you do, physical or anything else, it will spread into your work and into your life. There are no limits. There are only plateaus, and you must not stay there. You must go beyond them. Being realistic is the most common path to mediocrity. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. Today, I do what others won't, so that tomorrow I can accomplish what others don't. As men grow old enough to look back on their lives, any pain they have does not come from the things at which they failed, but the things they never tried. A mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions. Men enjoys of women who are slightly fat more than with thin women. A life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. You cannot swim for new horizons until you have courage to lose sight of the shore. All of us are creatures of a day, the rememberer and the remembered alike. If you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. If you want happiness for a lifetime, help someone else. Every living organism is fulfilled when it follows the right path for its own nature. There ain't no problem that some other dude didn't have 1,000 years ago. Live out your life in truth and justice, tolerant of those who are neither true nor just. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Opportunity is missed by people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. Integrity is doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. Goodness, what defines a good person? Keep to it in everything you do. Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go and do that, because what the world needs is people that have come alive. Be like the flower that gives fragrance even to the hand that crushes it.